in noun clauses. This week, you'll learn how to use them in reported speech. You'll learn the rules in English for reporting what others have said. This is a great skill to have if you want to be an efficient storyteller. Who doesn't love to tell stories? This week, you'll also learn how to shorten some of those noun clauses to infinitive phrases and gerund phrases. This is a good opportunity to memorize some common expressions that require infinitives and some that require gerunds. Mastering the content in these lessons will really make you sound more like a native speaker of English. Reported Speech Part 1. In order to understand what reported speech is, it's important that you know what quoted speech is. Quoted speech is also known as direct speech. This is exactly the words that someone has said. For example, I am trapped in a painting. When we write quoted speech or direct speech, it is surrounded by quotation marks. Reported speech, on the other hand, which is also called indirect speech, is when someone is reporting or relating what someone else has said. For example, she said she was trapped in a painting. Notice there are no quotation marks. Also, you see the verb said. This is our reporting verb. With reported speech, there is always a reporting verb. It could be say, tell, explain, respond. There are many reporting verbs. After the reporting verb is the noun clause. This is what someone has said. This noun clause could be preceded by that, but it's optional. Let's take an example. Joe and Mary were talking on the phone. They had a great conversation. So Mary wanted to tell her friend all about it. So when she talked to Lisa, she told Lisa everything that Joe said. Let's imagine that the quoted speech you see here are things that Joe could have said. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, for example, like said or told, this will affect the tense of the verb in the noun clause. Let me show you what I mean. If Joe said, I ate chocolate, then Mary could report to Lisa, he said that he ate chocolate. Notice that we take a step back in the verb tense, so the simple present becomes the simple past. If he said, I'm eating chocolate, she could tell her friend, he said that he was eating chocolate. The present perfect then becomes the past perfect. Let's look at some more examples. I ate chocolate. He said that he had eaten chocolate. Notice, let's look at some more examples. Chocolate. The present perfect then becomes the past perfect. Let's look at some more examples. I ate chocolate. He said that he had eaten chocolate. Notice the past perfect does not change. I was eating chocolate would become he said that he had been eating chocolate. With the future tense, will becomes would. And am going to was going to. With modal verbs, can would become could. May and might are both might. Must and have to would become had to. And should remains the same. Okay, you are now going to see many examples of quoted speech and reported speech. Pay close attention to how the verb tense changes in reported speech. It was Judy's birthday, and she was very happy to have received special birthday cake. But she was sad when she found that it had been stolen. Let's take a look at this exclusive interview with Judy. Hi, I'm Amelia Ellis from UCICE Eyewitness News, and I'm here right now with Judy who was the victim of a terrible crime earlier this morning when someone stole her birthday cupcake. Thank you for meeting with us, Judy. How are you feeling now?
I'm hurt and just really disappointed.
She said that she was hurt and disappointed.
I can't do anything right now. I can't work. I can't sleep.
I know. Thank you. I know. She said that she couldn't work or sleep. And this happened earlier this morning, correct? How did you feel when you realized that your cupcake was gone?
I'm not going to lie. I was really looking forward to eating that cake. I cried all morning.
Awful. It's just awful. She explained to me that she had been looking forward to eating that cupcake and that she had cried. All morning. Miss Hu, what are you going to do?
Well, I should probably take some time to heal.
When I asked her what she was going to do moving forward, she responded that she should take some time to heal.
I may take a break off of work. I don't know. Figure things out.
She also said that she might take a break from work. Okay, you saw lots of good, although silly, examples of reported speech. In this lesson, you learned that when reporting speech with a past tense reporting verb, like said, told, or explained, the verb tense in the noun clause takes a step back in the verb tense. Watch part 2 to learn about some exceptions. Reported Speech Part 2. In Part 1 of this lesson, you learned that when the reporting verb is in the past, the verb tense in the noun clause will also be in some form of the past. We could say that the verb will take a step back in the verb tense. For example, imagine that you are a student and your friend says he won't be in class that day, so he asks you to pay attention to everything that the teacher says so that you can later report it to him. Imagine she says, "Tomorrow's test will be hard." Later, your friend asks, "What did she say?" You will report to him, "She said tomorrow's test would be hard." Will was in the original quoted statement, but in the noun clause, when we put it into reported speech, it becomes would. This will apply to most cases of reported speech when the reporting verb appears in the past tense. However, there is a little exception. When reporting what someone has said immediately, and especially in casual, informal speech, the verb in the quoted speech may not change in the reported speech. For example, right now I'm talking on the phone to Jake, who happens to be traveling around the world. Listen how I report what she says immediately. It's Jake. She said she's having so much fun in Spain. Really? She also said she really misses teaching grammar. In the original statement, the verb appears in the simple present. And in the reported speech, you can see it is also in the simple present, even though the reporting verb said is in the past. This is one exception to the rule you learned in the first part of this lesson. Another exception involves unchanging facts or truths that are accepted by everyone. For example, if Jake tells me Spain is a country in Europe, I'll report she said that Spain is a country in Europe. Notice that even though the reporting verb is in the past, the verb tense does not change in the noun clause because this is a fact. Okay, so what happens if the reporting verb is not in the past? Let's take a look at an example. Jake tells me nearly every day just how much she loves grammar. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. She always says that she loves grammar. So basically, she declares her love for grammar every day. I can say she always says that she loves grammar. Can you tell me what tense the reporting verb appears in? It's not past. It's the simple present because she says this every day. That means that the verb tense in the noun clause will not change. It will remain in the simple present. This is true when the reporting verb is in another tense other than the past tense. Can you tell me what verb tense the reporting verb appears in? It's future. So again, we do not change the verb tense in the noun clause. It remains what it was in the direct quote. Okay, there's one more important thing I should mention. When we report what someone has said, we often use the words tell and say. However, they are used a little bit differently. Let me show you what I mean. Your mother told me a funny story about you. Tell is often followed by an indirect object pronoun, like me, you, her, him, them. However, take a look at the example with say. Your mother said that you used to pretend a broomstick was a horse and that you would ride all around the house. Notice that there is no indirect object after said. This is one major difference between tell and say. I should mention, however, that it is possible to say to me, or to her, or to them after the verb say. However, this is not common or very natural for a native speaker of English. Okay, so how can we avoid some common mistakes when using reported speech? This statement is wrong. Based on the rule that I just told you about, how can we fix this statement? That's right, it needs an indirect object pronoun because you see the verb tell. Greg told us that he slipped on a banana peel. Now it's correct. And this is a similar mistake. That's right. We need to take out the indirect object pronoun here. Greg said that it hurt. Other common mistakes may be related to collocation errors. That is, there are some objects that always follow tell, not say. For example, this is wrong. It should be Jan told a lie, told the truth, told a secret, or told a story. We can never use say with these types of expressions. Okay, that concludes part 2 of reported speech. I hope you learned a lot. See you soon.